So this is Mark Zakin, and we are live now with the 2 p.m. draw of the 2018 Golden Handle. Hopefully we have this streaming, and we have on sheet A in the 2 p.m. draw, we have Andrew Hancock versus Enriquez Rimkus. Andrew is a former member of Nutmeg and currently a member of Broomstones, and he has with him a team that is mostly from Broomstones. And Enriquez Rimkus also has a team from Broomstones. Enriquez is 2-0, having beaten Mark Mooney's rink earlier today. And we have, and Andrew is 0-2. Joining me for this afternoon's session will be Ed Simia. Ed is taking this draw off, as am I. On sheet B, we have on the 2 o'clock draw, we have Steve Clay against Mike Greene. Steve Clay is a mixed team from new members from Nutmeg, Barb Baroni and her husband Bob. And then Steve Clay and Diane Clay are from the Columbus, Ohio rink. They've switched their lineup, so Steve, I think, was previously skipping earlier, but now Bob Baroni's skipping. And they are playing on sheet B against let's see.
Yeah, it's Clay versus Greene. It's up
there Mike Greene, right. So Mike Greene is from Long Island, and he beat Jack yesterday, so he's 1-1. Baroni his team has played well and given some other teams some trouble, but I think they're 0-2. And then over here in front of us on sheet C is Earl Conrad from Plainfield. And Earl is playing against a Petersham team skipped by Kevin Hotaling. I think Hotaling's 0-2, and Earl is 1-1.
Sounds about right.
Yeah.
Hotaling is Hotaling 1-1. Both teams 1-1.
Oh, both teams are 1-1.
Well, we're 0-2, so I know we lost to both of them. So they both have at least one win.
Yeah, that's surprising.
Adds up.
The warm room buzz is why is Ed Simia 0-2. We don't really know. Ed and I had some discussions pre-spiel about handicapping the draw, and so far we have proved wildly incorrect.
Oh yeah. No,
so both with respect to our own teams and other teams. I think we did expect Sean Main and Matt Gallegos to play well. So those we were right on them. We were wrong about ourselves, and wrong about a few others.
Yeah, well. Hard to say in a short weekend bonspiel like this what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Not a lot of games and for the round robin portion, and yeah. All right.
So far it looks like people have put rocks in play in front of us.
Yeah.
Let's see who has the hammer over here.
It's going to be yellow with the hammer on C, which is Team Hotaling. We'll have the hammer on C.
So I think Earl is looking to pump, tap up that red.
Yeah, it looks from that line, yeah.
Maybe split would be excellent without the hammer. Send that red one behind the yellow guard and put the red one in the house. This is probably Melissa Yob, I'm guessing. That looks pretty good weight for tap. They're going to go on it. I think it's going to come up short and maybe hog. If it gets over, it's a good shot. And it looks like it's going to just get over. So
Yeah,
I'm
they
sure.
set up a good high-low center guards. Hey, Courtney. How's it going? Charging a phone again? All right, Courtney Mears charging her phone. Good update there.
Over on sheet B, it's very convenient that Mike Greene's team, which is wearing yellow, is throwing the yellow stones. I think it'll be
that does help a lot.
It will be hard to confuse that. Over on sheet A, Andrew Hancock, who had a rough go against me earlier today, is sitting 2 against the 2-0 Rimkus rink. So that's a pretty good start for them.
Jeff, you want to do some commentary with Mark? I'll handle the production for a bit and keep you guys looking good. Yeah, kind of Jeff mentioned he would also like to do some commentary, so I'm happy to be the third man behind the scenes.
Jeff is excellent at commentary. I listened to
Absolutely.
Jeff yesterday morning.
Yeah, he did a great job. And he has done some other commentary for some league nights here, too.
So Earl Conrad's looking to try and take out that yellow that's sitting in the top 12, and that rock's going to come back, but I don't think it's going to have enough weight to get that yellow out. I think it's going to just tap the yellow back, and the red spills out, and the yellow is still shot on the back 8, and looks pretty guarded.
Yeah, and with yellow having the hammer there, not a problem having one way back there. All right, let me pass over to Mr. Jeff Hannon, who's going to be joining the commentary team. Do you guys want a feature game, or are you going to mostly stay on C?
I think we'll just move it around.
Okay, then I won't put it
All right, hello, Jeff Hannon on the mic here, and Ed's going to take over executive production. So if you can't see anything on the cameras, it's not our fault.
Jeff, how are you?
Good, Mark, Dakin?
So over on sheet A, Andrew Hancock is sitting 1 now, it looks like. I think he was trying to draw something in and missed. And Rimkus, I think, has a pretty open shot to hit out the shot rock, and he's calling for that.
All right. Who do we got out here? We have Conrad versus Peterson.
Converse versus Hotaling over here. Over on sheet A, the hit is on its way. Sweepers are off. And that is going to get through and hit and roll behind the guard. That's a pretty good shot. Over on sheet C, Conrad tried to draw down to the stone on the back, hit it, but didn't knock it out. It's hard to get any curl. Hotaling's going to try and draw around the right side. That's a lot of room, I think, for what I've been seeing on sheet C.
A little wide.
Yeah, that's not getting there, I don't think. I think that may need to be swept, too. But they don't, and it is going to get in.
Well, weight was pretty good. But as I saw a lot of yesterday when I was doing the commentary, our ice is unforgiving if you have a outward motion with your hand. When he threw that rock, his hand moved outward, and that puts the momentum of the rock going that way, and they have a tendency to stay out there.
Having played 2 games on our ice, definitely true. I can hear my own voice in this thing. Is there some way to get rid of that?
I think you can turn the, you can actually turn the headphone down. See, coming through loud too.
I hear him fine, but I'm hearing feedback of myself, which annoys
Yeah, you're hearing
the
it
hell out.
through his, because he might have his headset up, which means it's coming through. Your voice is coming through there, coming through his mic and back in.
Oh, is that what's happening?
Yeah.
Do I need to move further away?
No, I think it's just. I mean, I can play with it like between ends or something like that.
Okay.
You can. How loud is your headset? Can you hear him?
Some technical issues.
Yeah, I can hear him.
Is he loud or is it like?
It's not that loud, no.
Okay, well, leave it for now, and I can play around with it.
So on sheet C, Conrad's going to try and draw it back in again. And over on A, Rimkus is now sitting 2. So whatever advantage Andrew Hancock had early has now been dissipated. And Andrew's going to try and tap up one of his reds, I think. It's a pretty difficult spot. Oh, he wicked off his own and he put a third one. I can't tell if that third one is in. Can you tell?
Look at sheet B or?
Over on A.
On A, oh, I don't have the far A, but we can take a look.
No, he didn't. No, I can see it. He didn't tap one.
No,
Oh, here on sheet C, we got Hotaling sitting 3 with the hammer. Earl Conrad. Wily veterans trying to get a draw. Mary.
I don't know what happened to that rock.
Yeah, I don't think she threw that very clean. And it just kind of floated out there.
On sheet B, they're trying to get to that shot rock, and they do. Beautiful shot. That's a very nice hit. Looks like it's pretty buried. Mike Greene's going to try and open it up. Who has the hammer on B?
On which?
Looks
B.
to be yellow having a hammer here on B.
So Mike Greene with the hammer on sheet B, trying to clear up some of those rocks in the middle. Might get a piece of one of them.
And over on C, Conrad's trying to draw in again.
No, that's Hotaling.
Oh, Hotaling.
Trying to sit 4 with the hammer and hits the outside 12.
He's sitting 4. Sitting 4 with. This game could get out of reach early. Well, Conrad's going to try the very tricky inside-out hit, try and catch it on the edge, and roll into the button. And he's not taking a lot of room. And he's left-handed. He's left-handed. Ed, you think that's the right broom for that shot?
I don't know if that's what he's calling. Was he looking at the hit? I think he might just be drawing.
Is he just drawing it?
Yeah, he's trying to throw a draw.
No.
I don't think it has the weight.
Over on B, Bob Baroni's trying to put another one in.
Gonna come up light on sheet C.
Baroni trying to hit that yellow. He's going to hit his own. Oh, he missed everything. I think Baroni might still be sitting 2. No, he's only sitting 1. So Hotaling's going to draw and try and put a 5th one in. Top 12 would be perfect.
The good news for Earl Conrad here is it's a yellow rock out of play, so the 8 is not in play. But a 5 or a 6 might be a big hole to come back from.
This rock looks like it might be on one of the other yellows, but it could wick in. They're not sweeping it, but it is going to get there. That's a good shot. That's sitting 5 with. Over on B. Looks like we're down a hammer for Mike Greene. Nope, Baroni still has a shot. He's going to try and get to that yellow rock on the back, I think, and knock it out. And if he does, he'll sit 5, 4.
Take a quick look.
He'll sit 4, I guess.
Might be 5.
It could be 5 if he makes the shot and stays. Well, Conrad's going to try and draw in on sheet C. This is a scary shot for a skip. The open draw against 5 when you don't have the hammer.
Needs the curl hanging out there. And I don't think it's going to do any damage.
No, it's not going to do anything for him.
No.
Hotaling has an open draw for 6. Baroni misses the hit. So Mike Greene will have a shot to try and wick out that stone and sit 2 maybe.
Mike is yellow.
Yeah. So
Are you looking at sheet B?
Yeah, right here. If he hits that red rock,
Look at 2.
if he stays, he's sitting 1 on the back. He's sitting second shot on the back.
Yes.
Kevin Heideling's last shot on the way here. Draw for 6. Looks pretty good. Get a little heavy, but it's going to.
That could be a biter.
Looks like it's going to hang around for a biter. It's close.
Mike Greene coming down. Not enough weight, I don't think. And it wicks off. So Mike Greene's going to give up a steal of 1. Hotaling's going to take probably 6. And over on sheet A, Andrew Hancock, his hammer is not going to do anything, and it looks like Rimkus is going to take, what, 3?
2? Steal of 2 looks like.
2, you think?
Just 2.
It's a steal of 2 for Rimkus.
So it was 6 on C.
Ed is going to dazzle us now with technology by posting scores.
I can try to do some sort of scoreboard wizardry here. Let's see what I can whip up.
Ed taking the controls here.
I'll leave it on the wide view for you for a moment.
Ed's going to put us on the wide view as they throw back to the warm room.
But we can do sort of a ticker on the bottom. We have a ticker.
Who did Earl Conrad beat in his game?
Well, us. We're in their group.
Beat you.
We lost to Conrad. We lost to Hotaling. We have to play Sean at 4:30.
Over on sheet A, Rimkus has thrown to the top 4. Andrew's calling for it to be tap back. On sheet C, Hotaling's team is calling for a hit.
I think it's a draw. I'm not sure.
I think it's a hit.
Yeah, it looks like a hit weight.
It's sailing out a little bit.
Yeah, it's going to be right on the nose. No, it's not. Just a little on the outside.
That works.
Good weight.
Conrad calling for a draw down to that yellow stone on in the 12 with a lot of broom. They're on that red stone. I don't think it's going to get there.
Yeah, definitely light.
But it's a corner. Over on A, Hancock's looking for a hit on the shot rock, and he's going to get it. And will he stay? Looks like he will on the back 8.
And B, Mike Greene's calling for a draw behind his corner guard.
That's your mic. This is there. If you want to turn that down.
Weight's good. Maybe right to the tee line or a little bit behind the tee line at this point. Just sweeping.
What's that?
So you can't do any major repairs in the middle of the broadcast. Yeah. If you're hearing yourself a little too much, probably is partially getting picked up on his mic too.
Yeah.
So it's looping back into your headset.
Right on sheet C.
Earl just
Hotaling
wants to draw down to this one in the 4-foot. He's got to try to generate some offense here just by not moving the rocks too much. A little tap would be fine, but this looks like takeout to me.
Well, he's got to roll over if he's taking it out, and it looks like he's going to nose it.
A little tiny roll, not enough. A very wise man once told me the more you're behind, the less weight you throw.
That's interesting. I'll try to remember that.
Especially when you're down 6, you're just trying to move rocks to the back of the house, hope for some jams, hope for something. That one over curls.
Well, now that I've heard it from you, you will be the very wise man who passed it on to me when I next say it. No, I'd never heard it before. It makes perfect sense. So from now on, it'll be a very wise man Jeff Hannon once told me. The more you're down, the less weight you throw. Thank you for that, Jeff.
No problem. I learned a little bit coaching.
You're definitely one of the most knowledgeable members in our club. A lot of curling knowledge from Jeff Hannon. I've enjoyed listening to your broadcast for little nuggets just like that one.
There you go. Earl's trying to get a little split here or something. Just get those rocks separated. They're sitting 2 now. No. 2 would be useful.
The other nugget
Climb back into the game.
The other nugget you passed on that caused the discussion between me and Jack Miller was when you said that outturns tend to curl less than inturns.
That is true.
And Jack's reported to me that you said that. And I said to him, you know, I heard Kevin Martin say that on the Olympic trials just the other night. So you're in distinguished company.
And that's some of why if you're playing with a left-hander, you need to adjust the broom, because if you're trying to make the same shot that a right-hander just threw, they're throwing the opposite turn. So.
And I do play with a left-hander.
So you need to.
Carl Bockley, and I've been working on that for that very reason. Of course, all of that requires that he hit the broom and me put the broom in the right place, which is two other issues.
What do we got going on? Over in sheet A, we have yellow sitting 1 just in the back of the 4-foot, and the second draw in, sitting 2 now, back 8. Andrew Hancock has the hammer there, so he's down 2 with the hammer in the second end.
Those 2 yellow rocks are behind the tee line, so Andrew could be okay here if he can get one down to that stone on the tee. And
Looks
the
like
sweepers
he's
are on it.
drawing down to it, maybe tap it back a little bit. Line looks good. Sweepers are on and off it, so the weight seems to be okay.
A little heavy and maybe a little outside. It's going to hit the one on the back.
Yeah, not a great spot that it rolled to. It rolled right behind the other yellow and kind of provides backing there, so more difficult for that yellow to be removed now.
Hotaling is going to try and hit this Earl Conrad red rock in the top 8 and sit 3. Mike Greene is, I don't know who shot there on B. Can you
Yeah, it's close on sheet B on who's shot.
Look at that near B.
Mike keeps throwing a guard on his, so I think he thinks it's him. Because that was the call again here. He was trying to throw another draw in there, but it looks a little light.
Ed has gone to the overhead on B, but I still can't tell. And it looks like Hotaling flashed this hit and took out one of his own, and the other one's going to roll to the back 12. So Earl is now sitting 1 with hammer and in a deep hole. And Baroni is going to try and go through that port and hit the Yellowstone. Is that what he's trying to do?
I think so, or at least draw to it.
That's a very tough shot, I think.
If you can tap it 2 inches, then you're definitely sitting 2. Line looks decent.
I think he's
I
on
think
the
it's
red.
through the port.
I think
It might be on the guard. No,
looks like he's
through the port.
Through. And through the house.
But not. Yeah, just too much weight there, I think.
It was a nice effort to get through the port. Was pretty good.
Well, Mike Reagan's now going to try to eliminate the red rock over here in sheet B, and that will ensure that he will be shot. Sweepers are on it hard.
They're going to crash on that red guard, I think. Maybe not. Oh, they did.
Just a click on the guard.
Over on A, Rimkus still sitting shot. Back button. Looking to either throw one on top of it or guard it. Can't tell.
Looks like guard weight.
Looks like that's over curling.
Just a little bit.
So there's still a port to get in there if you can make the curl.
But again, with that red rock behind the yellow, you're not going to be able to take it out really easily. You could tap it back, get one.
He's only down 2, so
Yeah, so one's not awful.
looks like he's trying to blow it up a little bit though, clear out the front. Oh, Conrad, with his first of 2 stones, is drawing against 3.
Over in sheet B, it looks like Bob Baroni's going to go after that yellow rock again.
Little bobble, pitched it out.
That's the classic Earl Conrad delivery, by the way.
That's light. Sweepers are on it. Oh,
No, it's not
not
light.
No, it's open, but it's not light.
But it's still open.
Back 4.
And Bob Baroni was light on his and came up short and didn't really guard his own shot, so Mike Greene's got a chance to hit that one with his first skip rock here. Mike has the hammer over in sheet B. Down 1-0 after the first end, so.
Over on A, I think Andrew Hancock has decided to clear something out of the front, but he's thrown that very down weight, and that's not clearing out anything.
That's not enough weight to do very much damage. I'm not sure what that call was. Mike Greene's going to try to hit this red rock, get it out of town, and chips it out.
Oh,
Jams on the back, but I think he might be sitting 2 at this point.
Looks like 2. I don't think there's any way easily to get to that one that's on the 4.
We're looking at it. She's saying it's second.
Over on C, Hotaling missed an attempt to hit Earl's throw that was in the back 4, so I think Earl's going to try and put another one in there.
This is his last rock, so
yep.
Draw for 2.
Take 2 and claw his way back into the game. Begin the long climb.
What I need to know is it's part of the executive producer's duty to supply beverages to the commentating
That is
crew.
not part of it.
And the answer was a resounding no. A resounding no.
I think Earl's going to wick off this yellow and maybe get his 2. And he does.
And he does. He actually needed that wick. I think that was going to go through the house if it doesn't touch that yellow. So.
Yeah. And
Earl gets
Baroni
2.
did try to go through the port and get Greene again, and got through the port and missed. So it looks like Mike Greene has a draw for 3.
So we can get the overhead on sheet B
B overhead? Sure.
and try to figure out who's second shot there.
Oh, B now is close. You're right. We got.
Looks like yellow to me.
I can't see that far. Ed's trying to show me the screen.
Want my glasses?
I have glasses here.
Fair enough.
Greene looks like he's going to try and draw through the port. Or maybe, is he trying to hit that red on the back?
I don't know. Unless he just doesn't trust doesn't know the line or the weight on the outside there, because he does have a draw wide in-turn that he could hit the 8-foot, and that's all he needs really to get a third point.
Over on A, Andrew Hancock with his last stone is trying to tap up that red. And the sweepers are off. And it's not going to get by. It jams on a yellow, throws the other yellow in, and this could be trouble. I think he may have advanced that yellow to count 2. Jeff gives me the 2 fingers, says that he thinks it's 2 yellow, and apparently
And Mike Greene is trying to help his draw get there by just that subtle foot movement to get it into the house. So
that is the
his draw came up way light.
That is the curling equivalent of the golf hand wedge out of the sand
yes,
trap.
it is. Or a foot wedge sometimes.
Or the foot wedge, yes.
So Mike actually did score. I'm not sure if it was 1 or 2. We think it was 2.
I think it was 2. The game on A is going to get out of hand early, looks like, with Andrew down 4-0. He struggled quite a bit against me. His team struggled quite a bit against me early. His rink has some college curlers from their days at Bowdoin, and they don't get to play very much together, so They're having a good time, but I think they're in a struggle.
That's what curling's all about, is having a good time.
Is indeed. Which brings us back to whether there is a beverage supplier.
We need an intern. I know. I'll get Nails. Nails will do it. Nails. We need an intern to fetch us some beverages.
A gopher? That's what they do. They go for drinks.
I got it.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
I have a card.
I got it. So do I.
Oh, okay. I'll just have a Labatt's Light, please.
How about black and tan?
That's it.
Thank you,
Is that
Jack.
enough?
I'll make up the rest because I'm that kind of a guy.
All right, you're the man, Nails.
What do you want? Black and tan?
Black and tan and
Light?
Labatt's white.
Is that just water?
Pretty much. So Nigel Lucas was kind enough to be our intern of the moment and go grab some beverages for the commentating crew here.
It's a very thirsty commentating crew.
It's just hard work.
Look at that between end scoreboard where we got all 3 scores up on there.
Look at this
Look at
technical
that.
director.
Wow.
The technical director is doing outstanding work here.
Is anybody actually watching us?
Yeah, we've got 12 viewers right
12 viewers
Wow.
out there. Thank you all for being here. Again, this is Jeff Hannon and Mark Zakin on the mics, and Ed Simia on the executive production end here. Doing
Ed
our
Simia
camera
behind the
switching.
glass. Ed Simia. I've always wanted to say that.
I'm the guy you thank at Thanksgiving. At the end of the Thanksgiving game, they show all the people in the production room. They wave. That's
Hang out here? Okay. I was overnighting for a while.
Well, if you go to the window view, we can all wave. I typically do that when I have been doing broadcasting by myself. I'm waving so people can see where I am. A lot of the reason we do Sheet C mostly is our feature games because we're sitting right behind Sheet C. You know, then with the wireless mics, we can move around.
All right, I've now put my drink card on the bar for the next round. Of course, I have a game at 4:30. So does Ed.
Don't spill.
Thank you.
Children.
Thank you, Nails. Cheers, mate.
Cheers. Salute.
So the commenting will either get better or worse at this point, or hopefully more interesting anyway.
I'm pretty psyched about this Ed Simia scoreboard.
Oh yeah, I took it down, but you want to put it back up, just keep it up there for a while. We'll keep the scoreboards right up.
I just think that's the coolest thing ever.
All right, we'll just leave the 3 scores up there for a while.
The closest game is the one on sheet B.
Yeah, if they're not in order, I can probably change that.
Yeah, you may want to do that if you can swing that.
They're all out. They're actually completely out of order. Let's see what we can do about that.
Well, next we'll have to break out the instant replay.
Oh yeah, I've got it going. If we get anything we want instantly.
Wow, there we go. We have the instant replay up and queued and ready to run. Let's go back to the action here. We'll start on sheet C. Hotaling sitting 2, top 12 with the hammer.
There's nothing out front for Earl to work with or hide behind, so he's going to try and hit. And this looks pretty good. I think he may get the inside of this and roll over a little
roll,
bit.
I think. Oh, I think they should have stayed on it.
They're still going to get a roll.
Yeah, it's going to roll too far though. Oh, not bad.
It's staying.
Yeah, but it's open. Not an easy shot. Wide out in the 12-foot.
Looks like he's going to try and hit it, and he's even taking negative ice, looks like.
And it's good because he was a foot wide. Maybe a foot and a half wide.
Those have not been coming back.
Well.
And that one's not.
Yeah, that's pretty much where he threw it. So the broom was probably close. I watched Hotaling in one of the earlier games on the broadcast, and he did this similar thing with Bill earlier, that he knows he's going to be wide, so he gives him much less broom than he really thinks he needs, and hopes he throws it where the broom should be. But that one, again, he kind of flicked that one out a little bit.
I'm often tempted to do that, but I try very hard not to do that.
Now, you should, as a skip, you should put the broom in the right spot. Because on that rare occasion when the person actually does hit the broom in the wrong spot, bad things can happen.
Conrad looks like he's trying to put put a rock in the middle, and he's on the top 12 maybe.
Just biting. That's actually a pretty good shot.
That's a very good spot. That's a great spot to be.
We're going to try that hit on the outside 12 again. Let's watch this delivery. This is the in turn from the right-hander. Should get my team list here so I can tell you the names of these people.
You can also just look up.
This is
it's Conrad's team. It's his no, it's Hotaling's Vice.
Yeah, Lucinda Booth. Yeah, that's going to be a good shot.
Yeah,
coming
good.
In there nice.
And it's going to hit and roll behind the other yellow.
Just a touch.
Very nice.
Very nice. Well thrown, well swept. Not too much weight, so you could.
We're giving her the wave here in the booth. She's smiling, appreciative of the wave. She's bowing.
And we are professionals here, so
Yes.
Don't try that at home.
At least not unless you've had a few beers. Conrad looks like he's going to try and tap up or draw behind his red in the 12. That looks like a pretty good tap shot. Sweepers are on it.
Gonna over curl, maybe?
Maybe.
Yeah, I think it's not. It's just a little bit late too. It's gonna get there, but.
Over on B in the closest game, Mike Greene is sitting shot without hammer and pretty jammed up. I don't think you can get to that rock.
Yeah, there's at least about 120 pounds of granite in front of it, so.
And over on sheet A, Rimkus is sitting shot behind 80 pounds of granite, but there might be a way to get that. I'm not sure. It looks like Andrew's going to ask for his Vice to blow it up.
We got a takeout on C here of the rock that Mary just drew into the outside 12. It's actually not shot, but it's second shot, and I think that one's going to over curl as well.
So here's the thing.
It did.
I think Andrew moved around his lineup, so I don't know if it's Lauren Bostic or Lauren Richards, but I can say that it is Lauren who was trying to throw this shot here on sheet A.
That makes it easier.
And Lauren has thrown just past.
And out the back.
And out the back.
Over on B, Barbaroni trying to move some granite around in front of the house. The tap, I think.
Well, that stone's going to settle, and it has opened it up a little bit, but Mike Greene, I think, is still shot on B. And Ed Simia behind the glass agrees.
So here in sheet C, Earl is sitting second shot, and I think he's going to try to tap that red that's just biting the top 12 right on the center line.
So he's really grooved this delivery, huh, Jeff?
Hmm?
Earl has really grooved this delivery of his.
Yes. When I first started at playing field, Earl delivered with a corn broom back then, as a lot of the members did, actually. And that's going to stop in time to be shot. So he did make the tap and went to the back 8 foot, but I believe it's shot, and it's covered up a little bit by that rock that's in the 8 foot right by the tee line.
Looks like Hotaling's going to try and get to it, but he's going to come with an out turn. Maybe with the ice not moving very much, he can get to a corner of it.
Or he's trying to make the double. I think if he noses the top one where the broom is, it might be a double. And he's pretty convinced that you need negative ice here, even after his vice just flashed one on the inside.
He's throwing huge weight at this.
Yeah, I think he's thrown.
He's going to get
he's going to get the top one, but it's going to be inside it.
Inside of the top one.
Might get a good roll though, and he does. Rolls at top 4, buried.
That's a tremendous roll. He threw huge weight at that.
Yeah, he did. Those young legs.
Over on A, Andrew Hancock is about to throw his first of 2. Looks like he's going to try and draw, or maybe tap his red. Rimkus is sitting 2. Andrew's team just can't seem to get anything going offensively in this game. And over on B, Mike Greene is sitting shot, looks like in the top 8. That stone is still pretty buried. And what do you think? Baroni's going to try and get to it? I don't see how he can get to that.
I think he's trying to draw, maybe to bite the 4 foot on B.
Yeah, he's got to draw.
This is Bob's first skip rock.
From the overhead, there's maybe 1/16 of that rock available. Not even.
Or are you looking at C or B?
B. No, there's nothing. There's nothing available on B to see that stone. He's got to draw in.
Well, Earl's shot is on the way. I'm not sure what the call was. Possibly a draw. Looks like draw weight.
Baroni's rock is moving a lot faster than Earl's rock, but I don't think Baroni's rock is going to get there. And it doesn't look like Earl's rock is going to get there either.
No, that's just a... Possibly was guarding the back to get red one. The Hotaling's going to have a draw somewhere for 2. He needs a little bit more than full 8 foot.
I think Hotaling might be trying to come through that port and chip out that red one. And if he does, and he stays, he would take 4. And if he chips it out and doesn't stay, he'd take 3. So that's what I think he's trying to do. He can see a smidge of it. I now see the hand is up and the turn. I can see on his handle. He's definitely trying to come through this port. This would be a shot worth instant replaying.
Absolutely.
If he makes it, yeah.
We have Ed on the instant replay here. If he makes this, that's got to move quite a bit.
Yeah, it's on the guard.
Could he run that red back into his own shot rock? No.
This could be trouble.
No, I don't think so.
It's going to curl enough that...
Oh, but it hits
But
the
it
other
certainly-
yellow
If
rock.
there's any danger of that being second, it's more,
So it's just 1.
All right, so that was actually a win for Earl there, holding Hotaling to 1 with the hammer.
So Ed is going to dazzle us with the scoreboard technology here. And there it is. Hotaling 7, Conrad 2. Greene 2, Clay 1. And Rimkus 4, Hancock nothing. But Andrew Hancock's about to throw his hammer on A, and I think he's going to try and draw in and cut Rimkus down to 1. There's no way he can he can out count that Rimkus shot stone.
You know, Sheep B, Bob Baroni's last rock is also on the way, and I think he's doing something similar here. Just take out the second rock of Mike Greene. If he gets a little inside roll, it might count.
He's going to get to it and move it a little bit, but I don't think that changes anything. So Greene is going to take 2 on B. A steal of 2 from Mike Greene. And Ed is going to astound us again. Andrew Hancock, I don't think accomplished anything with his stone, so he gave up with 2. And we've got some pretty lopsided scores up there on the board here.
Oh, Earl was trying to draw down to this rock that's in the button on sheet C, and that was just heavy. He didn't want to take out there. He just wanted to draw down to it. And I think Kevin Hotaling here is going to draw right down to his own.
So the scoreboard has been updated, and as you can see, 2 blowouts on A and C. And the game on sheet B, Baroni's going to have to generate some offense here to get back in it. But there's still plenty of time. He's only down by 3.
Again, that draw was heavy. Goes through the back of the house. I'm going to take a walk over and get an update from virtual sheet D, which is in, where are they? Portage La Prairie, I believe. The Canadian mixed doubles Olympic trials from Portage La Prairie.
So while we're talking about Olympic trials, I would like to point out my disappointment at my ex-girlfriend Anna Sinirova's disappointing performance against Moiseev. I'm not sure Anna and I are ever going to get back together after that. I actually watched the live stream from. I actually watched the live stream. I now know that Moscow is 8 hours ahead of us, and their draw started at 8:30 in the morning. So I was up 12:30 at night watching Anna Sidorova lose to what is Moiseev's first name?
Where they position it.
Victoria, I think that's right. Victoria Moiseev. Yeah, I saw one game where Sidorova gave up a steal of 3 in the first end, and that pretty much ended our relationship.
So we have Jennifer Jones and Mark Nichols playing against Peterman and Brett Gallant. Jocelyn Peterman?
I will say that, of course, I still have Rachel Holman. So.
And they're in the 8th end. And
I always have Rachel.
Peterman and Gallant.
All right, back to the action here on sheet C. Oof. Back to the action on sheet C. Hotaling is sitting 2, pretty much frozen on the button, which is a pretty nice place to be with a 7-2 lead. And it looks like Earl's going to ask his second to clear this up a little bit. So that's Mike Yob. He's thrown some big weight. Sweepers are on it. And that's a pretty good shot, I think.
Yes.
Yep. It moves one of them and leaves one in the house. And Hotaling's going to try and hit that one back. Baroni, meanwhile, is sitting 1. He's sitting shot rock on sheet B with the hammer. And I think he's trying to put a second one in. That looks pretty light. Sweepers are on it. Baroni's going to go out and help. And they are going to get it over the hog line. And it'll sit as a very high corner guard. And over on sheet A, Andrew Hancock Rimkus has taken out Andrew Hancock and is now sitting 2, and Hancock is trying to figure out what to do down 6-0 with no guards, and Rimkus with 2 stones in the house. Andrew Hancock, by the way, will be joining me at the Broomstones Men's next weekend. I was talking to him earlier, and he was talking about the differences between our ice and Broomstones ice.
They're significant. I've played on both.
They are very significant, so maybe I'll have a little home field edge with Andrew Hancock as part of my rink. I will also have Carl Bockley and Jack Miller at the Broomstones Men's starting this Thursday. So check out the live stream from Broomstones. I'm pretty sure Ed will be watching if he watches.
I will actually be out in Minnesota at the big stream.
Oh, Ed is going to be in Minnesota. So check out Ed on the stream from Minnesota.
I've never seen a stream of that, but for some reason in the last couple of years they have put the scores from this. It's a very large bonspiel, but it's a bonspiel. It's not a cash or anything, but they put the scores up on Curling Zone, so you can actually follow the big
Oh, it's
spiel.
on Curling Zone. All
They
right.
get some very competitive teams, so I think that's probably why.
And
There's some
who are you going with?
It'll be myself, Kelsey Shooter, Larry Beccari, known as Skinny Larry around these parts, and Allison Goldberg would have been our lead, but she broke her foot a month and a half ago, and so we're picking up a fourth from Kelsey's cousin is playing with us.
Nice. Oh, that's an outstanding double right there.
And they will go back.
On sheet C, you
Would
got.
like to see that one again?
Do you have that?
Oh, I got it.
All right, we're going to go to the instant replay on sheet C. That was an outstanding double. Watch this one. Way on the left portion of your screen.
Hit it just on the outside and squirted the one sideways. And
There it is.
That's the way to
The
make
one
it.
in the middle spun, big spin on it, so it went right through.
That was an outstanding double for Hotaling. I'm sure Earl was not happy about that.
And Earl's trying to get a draw here, and it's going to crash on the guard.
All right, so over on A, I know we haven't really been talking about the games much. Over on A, Rimkus sitting 2 again, up 6-0. That game is almost out of control for Andrew Hancock. On sheet B, which is the closest game, Baroni
Trying to
sitting
put a
shot.
guard. Trying to put a guard on his shot rock. I think he wanted the top 12, but it's going to come up just a little short. Leaves it open.
It's open a bit.
I'm hoping to see Earl and Mary, Earl Conrad and Mary Cognetta from Plainfield up at Petersham for the senior mixed, where I'll be heading with Joel and Nada and Bobby at the beginning of February.
I heard you talking about that the other day, and you're the defending champion and won it a prior year, 2 out of the last 3, is that right?
2 out of the last 3, yes.
So I will be taking my dysfunctional team to the senior mixed for the first time. That's my wife Rana and Mr. and Mrs. Bockley, who I will point out the 4 of us were arguing with each other on our very first shot of our very first game yesterday.
What, the centre line guard? The centre guard was...
Fine job, fine
It
job.
was it was classic Zakin Bockley curling. Classic.
The question, though, is did you win the game?
We did not. We lost to Rimkus when I missed an open hit with my first shot, and then hit and stuck with my second, which gave him a very easy hit and stick back to beat us on the last stone.
So sheet A, we have Andrew Hancock. Actually, somebody made a nice draw, but that rock just went away. So, and Bob Baroni's still trying to guard his.
I guess the guard did his job.
That looks like a better guard.
Yeah, it's closer. And sheet C, you got to take out, eliminates The Conrad rocking the house.
Conrad really has no way to generate offense. He's got to throw one behind those two guards, I think, right?
That's what he's going to try to do.
Mike Greene trying to come through the port. Do you have the instant replay ready if he makes this shot?
And I think it's on the guard again.
Oh.
And it is.
Andrew Hancock has guarded the shot rock. I don't know what that was supposed to be. But Rimkus is sitting 2. Earl is taking quite a bit of room here, I think. Quite a bit of ice for this draw, especially away from the wall on sheet C. He's looking for 3 feet of curl. It's coming from the inside out, but it's not moving very much.
Weight looks good. The sweepers are just watching it at this point. Starting to curl pretty good now. Sweeping it, tried to get it curl some.
Yeah.
It's going to stop.
Weight was good. A little too much broom, I think.
Yeah.
And Hotaling's going to try and hit it and get rid of it. Meanwhile, on sheet B, Baroni is now sitting 2. How did that second stone get in there? Mike Greene is going to try the double.
We'll tell the viewers out there that it smells delicious in the warm room right now. There's a large amount of rib roast in the oven, and it smells good.
Mike Greene's shot at the double is on the way. It's not very heavy.
Gonna end up being a guard.
I don't know what that was supposed to be, but Baroni's going to be sitting 2 guarded behind that shot. Baroni's on his first skip rock. Maybe thinking about guarding that yellow run back. Maybe thinking about drawing in and wicking off that yellow. He's definitely not going to hit the yellow. That's too dangerous.
Maybe thinking about the double?
Well, he's red. Double yellow?
Yeah, yeah.
He doesn't need that. What does that get him?
I think he just motioned for a guard, but I'm not 100% sure. The guard that yellow that Mike just threw and eliminate the run back or a tap to the center. That last rock on its way over here on sheet C, and Earl's just drawn into the house for his 1. Earl and Mary are having a brief conversation.
They need to go on that.
Before when Mary came down the ice, and I think they were talking about what beverage they would like to go enjoy at this point. So Earl does get his 1. And a nice sweep, top 4. I guess they're going to continue.
Rimkus sitting 2 on sheet A. And Baroni on sheet B is just going to put up the guard, and he's put up a really nice high guard. I just don't know if it's taking away the yellow. You think it takes
Mike
away?
He can angle tap that. He's got a couple of taps. There is a port through the middle if he wants to throw the draw.
So Mike's spending a lot of time looking at this. Rimkus is just going to try and take away a run back on that red. And he could be drawing in, and if so, that's a pretty good draw. Oh, that's really nice. That's top 4. And he's sitting 2 now. Possibly 3, but I think it's 2.
And I do think that if Andrew noses that yellow rock at the top 4, he should be shot. But
if he hits it on the side near us, he could get a double.
On the broom side.
The broom side, yeah, he could get a double maybe. I don't know. It's a pretty flat double. What do you think, Ed?
It's there. It's definitely there.
Ed says it's definitely there.
It doesn't have to be hitting that thick. He's okay.
On sheet B, Mike Greene's what I think is a draw is on its way, but it looks heavy. Sweepers are not really.
Is he going through the middle there?
Yeah, he's trying to go through the port.
Well, he's through the middle, through one of it, but not the other.
Yeah.
All right, Baroni has a draw to tie the game. And that opened it up a bit.
Yeah, it did.
And Hancock looks like he made a hit but didn't stay. Oh,
no, he did
no,
stay.
He did
made
stay.
the double.
Oh, he made the double. You got a replay on that?
One. Sorry.
We all missed it.
Yeah, I wasn't paying attention.
Well, we're going to go back through the magic of television.
No, I'm too late, I think. I don't think I can. Maybe. Let's see what I can do with the instant replay. There might be a way I can.
Yeah, I think that's also.
I can figure this out. Give me some time. I think I can.
We had a mat thrown up.
Oh, the magic of television needs a little help over there.
We're getting a little fancy.
He's starting to look like Art Carney in The Honeymooners, the magic of television here.
We actually have a measure on sheet A for the second point, for the second shot.
Baroni's shot at a third stone is going to crash.
Yes.
Well, Baroni's going to take 2 and draw this game a lot closer. And we're still looking for the Andrew Hancock double. Oh, I saw that look closer. It's getting closer to the Andrew Hancock double. No, I think he went past there.
So when you're in your bidding,
I'll switch it over as soon as it gets close.
which of course gets really tricky when you get down to low numbers because there's so many cards in play.
All right, well, Ed is multitasking here because he's got to find the instant replay and he has to update the scoreboard.
There was your double. We went back.
So
We saw it. Yeah. Showed it to the crowd. They saw it.
you showed the double?
We did, yeah.
Huh?
Yeah. Sorry you missed it.
I missed it again. It was an outstanding double, though, and and I assume it put Andrew Hancock on the board. They're still measuring over on sheet A.
So like you're playing and getting the wins, but then there's Trump,
And on sheet B, that's the close game. With,
So on sheet A, it is just 1 for Andrew.
All right.
But it depends on like what Trump is, and so it's like all this stuff going on.
And on sheet C, Earl's going to sit on the back 12, but it's not shot. So it's 7-3 now on sheet C?
Yes.
All right, well, Earl is slowly trying to claw his way back in.
And Kevin Hotaling wanted a center line guard, which I'm a little confused about as he has the hammer. And it's going to be heavy anyway, and just rub the red one in the back, and don't think that's in play anymore. It's not in the house anymore.
So Earl's going to ask Mike Yob to draw down to that yellow that's sitting shot in the back 8.
And when your sweepers are running next to a draw, that's not usually a good sign.
And when they start to walk away and head back toward the house, that's even a worse sign.
Yes. And that draw is going to go out the back and into the corner. So it became the easiest shot in curling, which is a draw to the hack. Something I can make 100% of the time. It's one of those shots you don't really have to practice very much. You get very good at it. Not a very useful shot, but you can make it a lot.
I'm happy to say I have not thrown, I probably shouldn't say this before I'm about to go out again, but I have not thrown a draw through in my first 2 games. I've made them all, but I haven't thrown anything through.
Hotaling's trying to get into the rock in the house here, split the house, sit 2 with the hammer, and it's going to come up about 2 inches short. So Earl's got that draw down to that yellow rock. Yellow rock is behind the tee line, so if he can get a rock in the right spot, he could get shot with some backing.
If you want to see that Andrew Hancock double, I'll cue it up for you.
Oh, I'm going to see the Andrew Hancock double, but over on A, Andrew Hancock is sitting 2 with the shot rock on the back 4 slightly covered. Maybe not covered at all.
Sheets say it looks like the draw is going to over curl and tap the red one just to biter top 12.
Oh, and I have now seen the replay of the Andrew Hancock double in the private screening. Thank you very much to the courtesy of Ed Simeon. It was a spectacular shot, probably Andrew's best shot of the spiel. And unfortunately for Andrew, Rimkus just hit Andrew's shot rock and rolled behind cover on the button. And Andrew's now going to look to have that red rock tapped up by his second, Carl Spielvogel. I'm told Carl hasn't been curling very much, so last night Andrew had John Corelli at second, and that was a pretty big difference for him last night against Mark Mooney in a very close game. Looks like Carl has thrown this a little down. Yeah,
another draw attempt on sheet C comes up short. Sheet B, Mike Greene asked for a takeout of the shot rock that's in the back of the 4-foot, and success. I believe he's sitting 2 at this point.
1.
Just 1?
That is second on the left side there.
So Mike is sitting 1 with the hammer. Bob's asking him to get rid of that shot rock. Earl's trying this draw again. And again, it's going to over curl. So we're throwing it really hard. I'm assuming it's light as well.
Over on B, Clay is throwing a hit on that shot rock on the button on the 4. And he's made it, but he's going to spill out. But Baroni/Clay is sitting shot still, and it looks pretty covered behind that Yellowstone. And Greene, without the hammer, looks like he wants to draw down to that red one.
Yeah, he's drawing behind his own yellow at the top 12.
He's going to draw behind his own. Okay. No, I think he was drawing behind the yellow to the red one, and it's going to crash the yellow guard and wick in. Not wick in. Just be a second guard on that line.
Hotaling still trying to get a second rock in the house here, and this one looks like it has a chance. But it's going to be heavy. Not sure if he called for a tap, possibly, but...
So Bob Baroni's going to try and put a second one in behind that yellow guard that just was Mike Greene's team's last shot. And Barb Baroni, new member of Nutmeg. We're delighted to have the Baronis. They're lovely people. And really nice of them to get a couple of their friends from Columbus, Ohio, to join them in this spiel. And looks like that's going to settle in. It's going to wick off that yellow and sit shot. So not bad. I'm sure Mike's going to go after that. And even if he hits it, he won't be shot. And he's going to come with the out turn, which does not move very much. Hello. How are you? No, it's quite all right. Welcome. Bar's open. Come over from the hockey rink? Who's winning? Prep won. Prep always wins. They're always good. So we have a couple of hockey parents have just shown up to watch curling.
It's a popular destination for the...
This is the far superior game, by the way. And they're enjoying watching the curling. We are broadcasting our game over the internet. We are live streaming to an audience of 12?
14.
Oh, 14! Oh, that could be an all-time record.
Worldwide.
Whoa! We have an audience of 14.
That's right. We had an audience of about 30 at the peak for the Crystal Snowflake Finals. So we're trying to get up there.
All right. Well, Ed says we've had as many as 30 for the Crystal Snowflake Finals, bursting my bubble.
Sorry. This is just a round robin.
This is just a Saturday afternoon at Nutmeg. But all right. Back to the thrilling action. We've left the 14 people listening to this not knowing what's going on. So
Well, they can still see it on the on their web stream.
They probably don't need us at all. Over on A, Hancock's team is looking to hit those yellows. Rimkus is again sitting at least 2.
Looks like 2, yeah.
Hancock looks like he wicked one of them, but I don't know if he got it out.
Removed it and sits second shot.
He is sitting second, so that's not a bad shot for Hancock. And over on C, Hotaling with his first skip stone with the hammer.
Trying to make that draw again that everybody's been too heavy on. And
it's curling a bit.
I'm going to go to the back. There's a red back there, and it's going to jam on that, and it actually is going to sit for second shot.
Hotaling is sitting 2, up 7-3, and he's got the hammer, so Earl has got to get down there. He has got to get through and sit on something and hide.
And this is Earl's last shot, so he needs to touch the forefoot to be shot. If he goes to the back yellow, it just leaves Hotaling to follow him down and get 2 that way. He's got to try to get in there, touch the forefoot.
They are discussing a tap. I don't think he's going with a tap, though, not on that broom.
I don't know if there's enough room to make the tap. I think that the two red rocks at the top 12 are just slightly overlapped, so I'm not sure you could tap the one closer to the center line straight back or not.
They're still looking at it. Over on B, take a look at the far B, Ed. Can we look at the far B?
Absolutely.
So Ed's going to switch us over to the far B, where it looks like Mike Greene is sitting 1 and 4-5, and Baroni is sitting 2-3. And it is Mike Greene's shot, and it's the first of his 2 stones. And it looks like he's going to try and just guard his stone. That's what I think he's going to try and do. Just guard his shot stone. Maybe top 8. Earl's draw is on the way. Mike Greene's draw is on the way.
If you want to hang out for a while, like we said, there really isn't full bars.
Earl's draw line is pretty good. It's got a curl to get to the hide on the forefoot, but
It's cutting now, but it looks
it's going to be on the back. It's going to be on the back yellow,
It's pretty hot.
but it does sit for a second shot.
And Mike Greene's effort at a guard wound up where? Oh, nicely
Top
guarded.
8.
That's
Just biting
pretty good.
top 8. Sittings 2.
Yeah,
It looks to be safe.
yeah. There is a hole there to get to the shot rock, but I don't know if you can hit the shot rock and stay.
Might be tempted to let it double for 3.
I think, Ed has pointed out that Baroni could be tempted to try the run back double for 3. And
You might just give it only give it one anyway.
Ed is queuing up the instant replay, so that when I miss this, I can be shown it again.
So he's trying to run back double
It looks like
on sheet B
It
to
looks
sit
like
3.
Yeah. This is the hammer, so it would be, no, not the
No,
hammer.
Mike has the hammer.
Right, to sit 3, yes. The run back double to sit 3.
This is Bob's last shot, though.
And Hotaling looks like he's going to just try and come down to that red and take 2 here. And that stone's got to really move.
I'm not sure if he was throwing a draw or a tap on the outside there.
It's going to be a tap now. Baroni's shot at the double, coming down. Sweepers are on it.
You know,
Looks
he
like it's
actually
over curling.
missed and goes right through on sheet C.
Well,
I think we flipped over to
Baroni got the top one.
and then you could flip them so effectively.
So Mike has a draw for 2 with the hammer.
You could with the metal handle, which you can see is what the yellow or the red bit.
So Hotaling took 1 and is up 8-3, and Earl needs a big end to get back in this game. Time is running out for Earl.
So every few years,
He's got to get at least a deuce here. It looks like Mike Greene is setting up to throw maybe the same draw guard that he threw before. Is this a hammer?
Is it
It's a
Grant?
hammer over on B?
Okay.
For Green, it's a hammer. Hammer over on B for Greene. So he's just got a open draw. If he's a little heavy, he could crash into his yellow and chop it back a little bit. So sweepers are on it now.
pushed all the way, and it's just a concrete slab, just like a
Sweepers are on it the whole way on B.
And then before each game,
And this looks pretty good. They're off it now. They overbaked that or no? That looks pretty good.
If it wasn't, it would be tough to get a rock down the other end, so it would be unpredictable.
That's good for 2.
So, we actually
So
squared
Greene
the other-
puts the nose in front.
turns to the head of
So an update on the Canadian mixed doubles. Jocelyn Peterman and Brett Gallant, I got the pronunciation from Nada, won their game over Jones and Nichols. So they're moving on,
That eliminates Jones.
and Jones and Nichols are now eliminated from the trials.
And who's left?
Sweeting and Gushu and Laws and
We don't use the Zambo.
who's she playing with? Those are the teams that are in the 1-2 game of the page.
Right.
All right. Well, Caitlin Laws is in the 1-2 game, and that is, of course, who I'm rooting for. I am not a Val Sweeting fan, and I was never a Jennifer Jones fan. So, Caitlin Laws, I did miss the opportunity to spend $90 to meet Caitlin Laws at Ardsley. It was a tough call, but I just couldn't swing it. Whoa, we have a fall.
But
on B, but she looks to be okay.
Lawson and Johnny Moe.
Oh, Caitlin Laws and Johnny Moe. Johnny Moe is a bit of a lunatic like me.
Just saying you respect that?
He may be the most hot-headed Canadian curler. So yes, I do respect that.
Exactly. When we're not sliding, most people
So now we're back to the window view. If you look over there behind sheet C, your production staff and announcers are waving to the 14 people that are out there.
Checking the scoreboard, which is updated. Ed has updated the scoreboard. In the sixth ends, we have Hotaling beating Conrad 8-3. He opened up 6-0 lead in the first end, has pretty much held on to it. Mike Greene, who at one point was down 3-1, is now up 6-3. And Rimkus is still with a big lead over Andrew Hancock, up 7-1.
And a nice draw here on sheet C from. Put my glasses on. From Melissa Youb. I think it's Youb. Not sure. Draws
so it's,
top four.
So it's not my Youb.
If I just push that out, oh, I just throw it on the floor and then back into it.
Melissa and Mike are relatively new curlers. I think maybe third year.
It sounds like Earl and Mary have been playing forever.
Earl's been playing back in the days when you threw rocks from the stream, and that's what you curled with. So you can tell him I said that. He's a very good friend of mine.
Yeah. I don't need to tell him. I will just have the production coordinator here do a replay of your comment and store it and send it to me as a zip file of some type, and then I can just email it to Earl. That would be the new technology way of doing that.
Yes, all these games that we're streaming are saved on YouTube. I'm not sure how long.
Forever, basically.
Ed says forever and ever. Forever and ever and ever.
It turns out Google has a lot of storage space, so they don't mind leaving things on YouTube.
So if you want to go back and watch some of the games,
Google owns everything that Amazon doesn't.
The first few blocks won't be put in the house that you put up in that sort of the 3 guard zone, which is between the target, which is called the house, and that big red line, which is called the hog line. Yeah, exactly. You can put the guards, and you can use the guards, you can try and sort of go around the guards.
So right behind me, Nigel Lucas is explaining the game of curling to our hockey parent visitors. And they, I think, are just going to leave their son at the Wonderland of Ice
and head to the bar.
And become curlers. They're just going to become. I think Nigel has made some new friends, and we have.
My normal friends, Gin and tonic. Yeah.
A very nice wick on sheet B, as Mike Greene is very happy that Yellowstone he was trying to draw in wicked off the red, and Mike's now sitting 2.
One of my favorite wrestling partners.
And after a win against Jack Miller, if he wins this one, he could be in the running for a first or second event final.
They'll deliver the last 2 blocks normally, and then there's a lead, a second, and a vice.
Jack Miller's team, 1-1, plays Matt Gallegos at 4:30. Gallegos 2-0. Gallegos 2-0. Looks like Rimkus is going to go to 3-0. Sean Main is 2-0. And Sean at 4 o'clock is going at 4:30. Is playing Ed Simia, which we would have expected to be a good game, but and we still, I guess, expect it to be a good game. I'm insulting Ed; he's sitting right next to me, but Ed's team has struggled for some reason. They have not played well for whatever reason, but we always expect Ed to give Sean a good game. So.
They're very close at the moment, so we actually have
if Ed can take down Sean, that would pretty clearly open up the path to the
That would miss
the first event finals. Be Gallegos against
depends on
Rimkus. Yeah, if Matt beats Miller, Rimkus is obviously going to be 3-0.
And you score one, it doesn't, you don't score extra like in the bed.
I had my chance to take down Rimkus last night and blew it.
Then score an extra shot for every one of yours, which is closer than the other. So if supposing there were 2 yellows, closer to the middle than closer.
Then we had a hog here on sheet C. It was a attempted guard or tight guard. So it leaves Earl an opening here to draw down to that yellow rock in the back forefoot.
So over on B, with Greene sitting 2, Baroni is trying to double them out, and that looks a little wide. Oh, may come back. Nope. He got 1 though, and he's sitting shot, so that was a pretty good throw.
That's bird. You can't touch them off with the broom. It's called birding the stone, and depending on where it is, they get taken out.
Mike Greene does have the cross house double here. I don't think he's calling it, but
Yeah, you have to be.
sometimes you get lucky.
It's better to be lucky than good, as they say. A wise old man once told me that. Was not Jeff Hannon.
So, and also when you're sweeping, if you see, you watch the video, these guys, it's hard work, and you're putting all your weight on the broom.
Greene just flashed a hit on that redstone in the top 8 and missed the cross ice double. Missed everything.
What you'll find is if you ever try and bring in your pictures online, you'll get used to it. They'll do like one rock, yeah, breath. Like, oh, this thing actually is physical.
So Earl is actually sitting not shot, but in a pretty good spot on the 4, and it looks like Hotaling's going to try and chip it out, which is a dangerous shot, I think. Or is he just guarding? Maybe he's just guarding. That's got to move a ton.
If you're sweeping, in theory, if you were sweeping and I knocked the broom out of it, you should just throw it.
That's not going to move enough.
So much weight on the broom. If you don't, then you're not doing it right.
I knew when you said that, I would have been in here. It was!
So that leaves a port here on sheet C. Over on B, Baroni has just wicked off her own stone to put another one in, and Baroni's is sitting at least 2, but it looks like 3. Yeah, Baroni's sitting 3, and Greene wants to hit something. So I have called this shot frequently, hit one of them, hit something, but looks like it is going to hit something.
You might get the double here.
Yes.
Yes,
And
and a
but
jam.
it jams.
Gets the
Unfortunate.
double, but it does jam. And that leaves Baroni sitting 2 still, looks like. Yep, from the overhead, they're definitely still sitting 2.
You're welcome. Mark, pleasure to meet you. Kim, nice to meet you. Yeah, anytime you so you can play against Lucky.
We're not even. We're just observers.
Nice.
But we got credit on national.
Exactly. Without going to the bar as well.
All right.
Good to meet you.
Good to meet you.
Happy New Year.
All right, so Hotaling is going to just throw a guard, close that fort, because Earl does have a double run back that would have him sitting 3. And over on B, Baroni has taken out that Yellowstone and now sits 4. Baroni's sitting 4 with the hammer.
I could turn that game right around.
That's going to put a little pressure on Mike Greene's first shot here. He has backing, and if he draws down to it, he'd be in a good spot. But anybody who has thrown skips rocks against 4 without the hammer knows the pressure of this shot.
Hotaling's guard is on the way here. It looks like it's going to be fine. Might rattle off of something a little bit, but I don't think it's got enough weight to do any damage.
That's real good.
sit right there and block up the middle. So basically a wall of granite up there in front of the house. And
Yeah, that's a lot of stones. Earl does have an angle red raise off that stone on the far outside. That's a very, very difficult shot.
That yellow rock there makes it more difficult too.
The yellow rock next to it because it's jutting out. Mike Greene got by the guard. He's sailing into the 4, and that is a tremendous shot. That's a big skip shot right there.
as that is buried,
Let's take a look at the overhead there.
Oh, okay, sure.
So we're going to look at the overhead on sheet B, and you can see Mike Greene's stone sitting shot on the 4. And if that can be chipped out, which on this ice and not curling very much, I don't know if it can, but there is a little hole to chip it through and sit 5 if you can get to the nose of it.
He can see about an inch of that rock, and there is a hole there between those reds that.
With like halfway or probably make it. You don't have to do it on the nose. You can be pretty far off the nose.
So Bob Baroni's going to try and wick this out and sit 5. That's a very hard shot. And Earl is going to try the angle raise. I'm pretty excited about this. So Eddie Scazzeri behind the glass is going to key up back-to-back instant replays for these 2 outstanding shots. Earl's shot is on the way. Looks a little narrow, maybe. Sweepers
It's
are on
narrow.
it. Jeff also thinks it's narrow. I think he's going to crash on his front red, and it doesn't look like it has enough juice to do anything. And it doesn't. All right, so we won't be going to the instant replay on Earl's shot. We'll see what Bob Baroni does here. Baroni's shot on the way. Sweepers are on it. They don't want to crash on the guard. Sweepers are on it pretty hard.
It's close.
Yeah, it's real close. I don't know if it has enough juice to get there and do anything, and it is going to crash. Oh, it's very light.
Maybe he was just throwing the draw.
No, I think he was trying to throw the downweight hit, but
That was top 12 weight. So
2 down weight and just put up another guard there, so Mike Greene's in a pretty good spot. Baroni has the long run back for 5 right now. Kevin Hotaling's just going to put up another guard.
this is his last.
Oh, it's the hammer. Then maybe he's just throwing it away. There's nothing really to do with it. What is he doing? If that's the hammer. No, doesn't Earl have?
Oh, you're right. I think
Earl has hammer. I can't imagine why Hotaling would even throw if that was the hammer.
Oh, Earl didn't. Earl has the hammer.
Earl has the hammer.
Okay.
Last rock.
So Earl still has the angle raise. It's a little more. I don't know. He's got angle raises. None of them are easy.
Over on sheet A, it looks like Andrew's sitting 1. And it's close for second from here. But I think it's just 1. Mike Greene's guard over curls and doesn't really guard much except his shot rock.
Guards the red run back.
Yeah.
Bob Baroni might be looking at the red angle raise. Let's take a look at the overhead. Is that available on B? So could he angle the 1 and the 8 over into the yellow?
Not impossible.
Ed says not impossible.
Hard, but yeah.
And that looks to be the shot they're going to queue up. So
It's pretty thin.
That's the thing. It's very thin. You had to throw a ton of weight to make it.
it's very thin and a lot of weight. Yep. The in off of the
Like the high one. It's a hard chip, but they're both hard, and that.
This off of this one all the way
You
up
might
in the.
have to. I mean, like it's pretty thin, so you're not going to lose a lot of weight off it. They're both very thin, so.
Earl.
If you make it off the side one, you're probably actually carry enough weight. This one's hard to carry the weight. Not impossible, but it's there.
Earl is also looking to do a crazy angle, so Eddie Schizzeri here will queue up the replays in case either of these two Hail Marys is made.
Say Earl shot is a higher percentage chance of being there.
Yeah, it looks pretty hard. Earl's pretty wide and looks very down weight to me. I think even if it comes back and he hits it, it's not enough weight. Sweepers are on it. That's not a good sign.
That's on one of those 9 rocks that's in front of the house.
Yeah, that's not going to do anything. All right, so that's a steal of 1. Steal of 1 for Hotaling. Are they going to shake? 9-3 through 6. Are they shaking? Now, after all of this, they're going to measure? Now they're going to measure. All right.
The overhead's pretty. If you look at the inner lobe there, you can see that there's not much space. I think it's yellow, but
I thought it was yellow the whole time.
I agree. I think I can understand that.
Baroni did not make whatever miracle he was trying to throw, so that's a steal of 1 for Mike Greene. He goes up 7-3. And over
measuring
on
the wrong
sheet
side
A, I think
They're measuring the inside of the rock. That's not the correct way to measure.
Well, yeah.
Oh, there it is.
Would you rather measure the outside?
All right. Where's my intern? I need another beer.
Enjoy.
Good. We're.
Oh,
You're
my wife
watching
has just
this.
returned.
You see that broom laying there on the ice? It's dangerous. Not a good idea. You forget it's there. You step backwards, and only bad things can happen. Don't lay your broom on the ice when you're measuring rocks. Just tell everybody you're measuring rocks, and then.
This is apparently very close.
No, not close at all. It didn't touch the yellow rock. It's yellow.
It must have touched the yellow rock. Then.
Barely touched the yellow rock.
And it was because didn't touch the yellow rock, it would have been red.
Oh.
So
I think I've been drinking the same thing that Jeff has been drinking. Who doesn't think you measure from the inside of the rock? Neither Jeff or I apparently know anything
See, if you
about
measured
measuring
from the
rocks.
outside, it would have touched the red rock.
In fairness,
That's true. If you did measure from the outside, it wouldn't have.
in fairness, Jeff and I generally skip, and we don't really measure very many rocks. So, in fairness to us.
But they are continuing to play on sheet C.
They're continuing to play on all sheets, even though all the games are pretty lopsided. Ed is going to update the scoreboard.
I was told it required the totally.
So there it is, updated scoreboards. And on sheet A, we have Rimkus up 7-2 over Hancock in the 7th end. Sheet B, we have Mike Greene up over Bob Baroni 7-3. And on sheet C, we have Kevin Hotaling up over Earl Conrad by a score of 9-3. So I don't think we're going to see any amazing comebacks with those kind of lopsided scores, but it is possible.
Game
Crazy
on B
things
is still
happen.
a good game. It's you would see this played even before with the hammer. They play it out, but it's a tough road back, and the other two are even tougher.
Nice, exactly. Why is he gonna sing? Are we doing a handball trap? Exactly. Doing the full thing? I wouldn't see.
So how much of our loyal audience do we still have here, Ed?
Well, we still have 13 viewers.
13 viewers. Wow.
Down from our high of 15, our peak current viewing of 15 for this stream.
There was a statistic there of average view duration.
40 minutes. People stick with our.
We actually have stats on how long people have viewed us.
Oh yeah, 40 minutes average viewing. I mean, this is the kind of thing where you tend to stick with.
People do not have much to do. I will say that the NFL playoffs don't start until about 4:30.
Oh, yes. Football action today. 2 games today, 2 tomorrow, I believe.
So over on B, the closest game, Baroni is sitting shot on the back 12, maybe back 8, and Mike Greene is looking to just draw down to it, and it's going to be a little light, and maybe bite the 12 or no? No, not biting the 12. So Baroni is calling for another draw behind that guard. That's a good play. Down by 4 with the hammer.
Missing Jeff. With you for a bit.
Ed's going to do some real work now and put on a headset. As Jeff Haddon has left the building. Maybe smoking?
Probably. I think that's a reasonable guess to make.
Jeff just came back in from the cold.
Ah, there he is. Yeah. So we got well, Baroni's sitting 2 now. Clay on your scoreboard, but Baroni's skipping this game. Definitely wants to get at least 2 keeps you in the game, and 3 starts to make things real interesting in the 8th if you can get it back. And it's not a bad setup with the 2 rocks way out of nothing in the middle. It makes it hard to steal if yellow gets in trouble. And
Greene is trying to come down to that stone, and he's going to be a little short and open, but he's sitting shot in the 4. I think Baroni's like to hit that and roll behind that corner guard. That's a jam possible if he does hit and roll behind the corner guard. And that's a lot of ice to try and hit and roll behind the corner guard. He's looking for it to curl like 2 feet.
yeah, it could be thinking nose or just roll back the other way because of that jam possibility.
Yeah, I'd be less concerned about rolling behind the corner guard. He's going to get the hit and no jam.
Right.
Perfect. Sit 3. In the background, Julie Pasnow is hawking the famous 50-50 raffle tickets.
I mean, 30 tickets for $20 is a heck of a deal.
That is a steal.
if you're down here, you want to win some money, you can buy some tickets from Julie.
Uh-oh, Mike Greene's rink just flashed everything, and that gives Baroni a huge opportunity here.
Yeah, this end's really opening up for a big score now, and put him right back in this game.
I like a draw to the 4 behind that yellow guard.
Oh, sure, yeah. Not a bad idea at all. I don't hate this either, just because if you can keep the play away from that guard, that's good. You either have to bury, you can't be, you don't really don't want to be like try to bury around that yellow and leave it where it's an easy hit and roll. Or
that's true. All right, so Bob's going to go with the stone to the top 12. I am apparently about to be buying raffle tickets. My wife just came over and snagged a 20. That doesn't necessarily mean that it's going for raffle tickets. It could. This is a fairly frequent occurrence with my wife coming over and grabbing a 20. But in this particular instance, I do think it's most likely for the raffle tickets.
This might be coming up a bit short. It definitely overcurled for the guard, but it may just get on for a 4th counter. And it actually, guard's like a half to 2/3 of that stone as it ends up. That's not a bad rock.
Great shot.
Yeah.
Just to complete that thought, by the way, if I win the 50-50, I'm pretty confident the 20 is not coming back. So Greene needs a hit here, or he is really going to be in trouble. This stone looks like it's may catch. Did that pick? That moved a lot to the right.
They might just go by everything.
Did you see that?
Yeah, that took a. I mean, I can go back and take a look at that if you want.
That took a very hard right.
You want to look at that again just to see that? Because I missed the movement. So if we rewatch the last 20 seconds here.
We're going to watch this stone.
I mean, it might have happened early, but.
And it just sailed.
There, it just, picked up a lot of.
I think that picked something.
Might have, yeah.
Because I thought he was trying to hit the 2 front reds.
Probably.
Wow, that was wild. And now Barbaroni with an opportunity to improve the situation for red, and Barbaroni's calling for a guard here. I don't know. I'd probably throw another one in at the top 12, biting center.
That's fine. That's nothing wrong with that. I mean, I like guarding the 2 rocks to take away the double, but you can do that either by, biting. I mean, you can go to the center, but then there might be hit and rolls behind your rock, or I don't want to use anything that yellow can hide behind here.
Anyway, this is coming in deep. It could wick off the shot rock.
I'm just going to leave a little pocket back. Well, no, that got pretty deep. That ended up getting a little bit behind there, so not as...
does give Mike something to sit on.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
for the moment, they're sitting 5.
In the last end, without hammer, Mike Greene had to throw one in to... keep Baroni from taking a big end, and now his team has put him in the position where he's got to do a game.
Yeah, very big shot here. Two big shots, and Greene really has to make at least one of them to avoid giving up a big number here.
So maybe we should go to the overhead.
We certainly can.
If
you want to take one more look at the house, I like.
Maybe we stay there for the shot.
The shot is away here, so.
It's out of his hand. Sweepers are off. Oh, they're on now. Oh. They're on it hard. Mike Greene following it down. Sweeper's still on it hard the whole way. And it looks like it's curling in. This is a little light, but not a bad shot.
It's actually going to be the counter, I think. It's open, but not so easy to chip it out because it's not easy to get to the left side or the bottom side on the screen as we're looking at it. If we go back to the view, yeah.
No, you can't chip it out.
You can. It's not easy. You have to come. I mean, if the line's real straight, then he can play it right there. But it might be easier to actually come off the center line, cross over the face.
So another spectacular draw by Mike Greene.
Yeah, a very nice shot.
And Bob's going to have to hit that.
Yeah, Bob can nose it and be in pretty good shape here. That's the one thing. Like he will lose like 2 counters because he'll probably jam it on the back one, which will outcount the one. If we go back to the overhead view, like there's the one on the top ear screen. I mean, if he knows that this would outcount because it's probably going to jam on something in the back, either wick off the one in the back 8 or just straight jam on the back 12. But he'd still be sitting 4 in that case. So more likely, I think, what he really wants to do is get across the face just a touch and push it out. But I mean, jamming on the back one, he has so many rocks in play that's not a bad result at this point.
Yeah, this is the most critical shot, and he's coming inside out.
Yeah, I like that because the red rocks make it difficult to come the other way if you want to get across the face, which you really do.
So he's going to have to get across the face. Very big shot. We'll go back to the overhead.
I will on the way in. We'll see the sweepers take it in for a bit here. I'll make sure we get back. So shots away from Bob, throwing a pretty good amount of weight here.
Sweepers are off. That's got to move.
Giving it time to move.
It's got to move. It's starting to move now. I like it.
Oh, this is going to be a pretty
something.
nice looking shot.
Yeah, it is.
Right to the back one's fine.
Oh,
go ahead. Yeah,
that's a great
good.
shot.
To still sit 5, yeah.
That's a great shot.
Very nice.
I think we will give Baroni the wave, shall we? Here we go.
Hey. All right.
That was a really big shot for Bob.
Yeah, leaves him sitting 5 and a huge pressure shot now for Michael Greene. I'm just looking around at the other sheets, both of those games.
Not even sure what Greene does here. Maybe he just tries to throw a double.
You could throw the double. Here, we'll go back to the overhead. Could throw a double and try to get rid of 2. You could hit and try to slip under this, hit the one and try to slip under a red, but it's very hard because they're almost edge to edge. I don't know that you can actually get any roll to sit second shot with any cover. I mean, you could hit and roll behind your other yellow to sit probably, again, only second shot. Hard to make that double and stick around, so if you're going to roll that far. So yeah, not a lot of great options, especially on straight ice. Because on really ice with a lot of curl, you could go to the back 8 behind all that mess maybe and sit second and at least know with a big lead. Hey, if they get 2, you're. Yeah.
He's also looking at the draw behind his yellow guard, and that if he throws that, he's got to bury.
So he's up by 4. You could definitely. I think I like if you're gonna. I like hitting one end, trying to make try to hit and roll. There's ways to miss it where you end up throwing doubles. You take anything above 5, which sounds crazy, but anything above 5 out of the equation, which means you're going to be in a reasonable spot going into the last 10 at worst. There's just not a very easy or even sort of moderate shot that really guarantees you, a force or a steal. So
he's elected to go with the hit.
Yeah.
Coming from inside out. I think that's the shot I'd go with.
I agree.
You want to get the double here.
Yeah.
If you can roll behind the yellow cover, that'd be spectacular.
Yeah. A double and, any double guarantees you coming home with the hammer at worst tied, but I really want to get rid of 2 here at least. And if you only get 1, you really have to get under the guard to give yourself a chance.
Here's Greene's shot. He's pretty clean. Sweepers are on it already, right out of his hand.
I'm going to watch it come in a little bit.
I think it needs to move.
They seem to really
quite a bit now. And he's going to get something.
He's going to get 2 out of there.
Oh, he gets the double.
Does get the double, sits 1. So
that's a great shot.
Yeah, very nice. All right, puts a little pressure back on Bob Baroni here. He's got to make a nice hit and stick around to get his 4 and tie the game up.
I think we could give Mike Greene the wave again.
All right, why not? He doesn't see us, but.
So they have shaken hands on sheet A. Andrew Hancock's rink has gone 0-3, but the good news for them is they have a 4th game because we have a 4-game guarantee.
That's true.
So anybody who's watching who has never played in the Golden Handle.
Handshakes on C also.
You get to play 4 games here. So Earl Conrad goes 1-2. Kevin Hotaling goes 1-2. Is that right?
2-1.
Oh,
2-1 for the.
All right. And Baroni, are we back on the overhead on B?
I will get there as soon as the rock gets there.
And here we go. Nice work by Ed. It looks like he's going to chip it out.
Will he
Very
get
nice.
3 or
The
4?
sweepers are hard on both rocks.
Just 3.
That's
Still
very nice.
Hey, still a nice end there. Picking up 3 puts him right back in the game.
Yes, it does. All right, so all we have left is the game on sheet B, which is a.
We have some
Marianne has just
pretzel
brought
sticks
me
here?
Pretzels, which I will graciously share with Ed.
Oh, thank you. So, how kind. All right, let's.
Not sure how you eat these without crunching in our 13 loyal list.
Yeah, you can't. That is an issue. They're not ideal for. Yeah.
Hey, Joel.
So I took off the headset to eat the pretzel, and I'm back. And Bob Baroni's lead is looking to throw the center guard. Sweepers are on it. That needs to get over the hog line, and it'll be pretty good if it does. That's a pretty good start. I'd be happy with that.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Mike Greene looking to play the come around and come in early. Not sure I'd be doing that with the hammer. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, there's a few different ways you can play with the hammer. Coming around is fine. Before the tick shot became a big thing, you'd see a lot of teams do this. So if you're not, confident throwing that, if you can get to the forefoot first, that still puts some pressure on the other team. Not an unreasonable way to play it.
No.
Yeah, they might get the tick shot here. Oh, that's right on the nose. Oh. So we kicked the rock rather than let it hit the red rock, which is not something you're
okay. So
supposed to do.
That was pretty uncool.
Yeah, we'll
because
move along. It may not have had enough to knock the red through. It was not a guarantee. I imagine. Yeah. I feel like since it was not on skip orders or anything, it probably was just a player thinking, oh, it's gonna push the red through, but that may not have happened. It was close, but I might have just pushed it back into the house. So.
Yeah, so that yellow rock was about to hit the red guard and advance it into the house. I think it was going to be a pretty square hit.
Yeah.
And then the question is whether it was going to advance the red into the house or through the house. I think Mike Greene's vice thought that it was going to hit that red rock and knock it out of play, and since it was a free guard, they would have to reset it, so why bother resetting it and just stop the rock before it hit it. But I don't think that's her place to do that unless the skips on the way agreed to stop the rock. And from Mike Greene's reaction, it didn't look to me like the skips had an agreement to do that. So I think my view of it is that was pretty uncool for her to do that on her own, unless the skips agreed.
Yeah, well, we'll move along with the end, though, and that last rock just went a little deep, but it looks like they're not playing a hit anyway, so maybe that's okay. They're playing this soft.
So going back to the strategy discussion about coming into the 4, the danger there is if you're back 4, you leave the team that's without something to sit on.
Or the team with, in this case, with hammer. Or without, you're right, I'm sorry, right. Yeah, you absolutely do not want to be back 4 with hammer, and especially in a situation like this where it's a must-steal for the other team. So, so you have the tick shot. You can always play to the wings if you want. Not really much reason to play to the wings when you have a 1-point lead. If it was a tie game, certainly put one on the wings is fine, because that could be the winner. You might have a hit and roll out instead of having to stick one at the end or something like that.
Well, the reason to play to the wings is to keep the center open to clear it up.
Right. I mean, you may not need a rock at all. If you're going to throw to the wings with a lead, you may just not throw the rock. If it's a tie game, keeping one in the wings has a purpose. Here, where you don't have to score.
So Craig Steffen has just joined us in the booth.
Yeah.
Craig is about to play the Matt Gallegos rink. Feeling confident about that?
No, but I think we can take them. It's just going to be hard.
All right, so Craig says he's not confident, but he thinks that they can take him, and it's going to be a hard
Like
game.
we did this morning, we have a chance.
And if they curl like they did this morning, they have a chance. So that's the interview with Craig Steffen here in the booth. Thank you for that, Craig. And Mike Greene has tapped up that red stone, so right at the moment there's nothing in the house. There is enough guards, though, for Baroni to try and get a steal here.
Two pretty good center guards to work with, for
sure.
sure.
He's got a lot to work with, and he's going to try and throw one in now. So now we're in the race to the 4.
Yeah.
And Steve Clay is going to try to be the guy to do it. So when I'm skipping, I usually think right here, whether I win or lose this game might be in the hand of my second.
In terms of which side on the with the hammer?
If you're without.
Okay. Yeah.
You know, this is a pretty big shot.
As long as you make reasonable shots, a lot of times it ends up coming down to the skip. But if your second or vice can make a great shot, then that can turn it around. And if they make a just complete miss, also, that just lets the other team peel everything, and then you have
I'm just
chance,
thinking if your second can put one in the top 4 buried, then the rest of the end you're just guarding it up.
Sure.
But he didn't. So Mike Greene is looking to knock this out, keep the house clean.
He's leaving those guards out there, which could get a little dangerous. But here, this rock's very dangerous itself, so this is a perfectly reasonable thing to hit.
Yep.
Yeah.
Draw's still there.
Yes, the draw will probably always be there because you can come the other way too.
I don't know how much curl. I haven't played on B yet, so I don't know how much curl there is.
Not a ton, but they have been able to get around guards, especially these higher guards during the game. We take a look again.
Little tick and roll too.
So we're going to have to get ready for our game, Ed.
Yeah, I'm all changed already. I'm good. I have not left the club.
4:30 also?
It's very cold out.
What's that?
You guys are both on?
Yeah, we're all on at 4:30.
Yeah. Oh my, it's going to be a nutmeg free-for-all. 3 nutmeg teams out there.
4 nutmeg teams. I'm playing Sean, so.
You're Sean?
I'm playing Sean.
Oh, you're playing Sean.
Ed's playing Sean.
Oh, and Sean is 2-0, right?
Yes.
You're playing. Jack's team is playing. My team is playing.
Yeah, we're playing Gallegos. Okay, looks toasty.
Well, they might be playing the hit here.
Yeah.
Trying to hit and roll off.
Well, sweepers are off. They're on now. He's going to get a little bit of it, but it's not coming in.
Not a terrible place to leave the rock. Still plenty of time. I mean, if you have this many guards in play, you only need 1 to tie here. And, as long as you're leaving a lot of junk out there and the other team has to clear it out, it'll give your skip a chance.
Here's Sean May sharpening up his pencils. Oh, no.
Sean Main
Another
getting
peel
moved a
incoming,
little bit
trying.
for his game. Drinking the Monster Rehab. I'm not sure what the heck that is, but it looks nasty.
And takes off another one of the center guards. Bob's still got a couple of centers to draw around, though. And now this draw is a little more open than it was last shot. We have a little bit of an easier path in. Looks like that's what he's going for. Well, he's trying, that's for sure. I think Craig said he thinks he has to bury one here. You don't have to bury one until your last rock. A lot of times you end up throwing 6 or 7 guards on these ends. But they would be very happy. At any point now, you'd be happy to bury because you have the guards up. This is close.
Pretty good.
Yeah, it's not curling much.
No.
I mean, if it gets partially under, that's not bad. All right.
Well, that
It's
doesn't seem to
okay
be
for now.
And overhead view, that looks pretty visible.
Yeah, it's probably 80-90% open. For a righty, a little less, but most of it is going to be available to.
And the problem is there's 2 ways to roll.
Yeah. And you don't need to roll in. You'd actually almost rather just roll out than leave something that high. Although
Well, you don't want you don't want to stay.
No, definitely. You don't want
Oh, they're narrow. They're on the guard. That's a big change. Boom.
And it moves the red over to be a better guard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That could be the game right there.
Now, the red rock in play right now is a decent steel rock. I think Bob's going to want to improve that. He may at some point play a tap or draw around the
Can I still
guard.
get to the red one on the...
Oh, yeah, they certainly can still get to that red one. And even if they couldn't, I mean, that's a rock you can certainly outdraw. So you'll want to, and he may be playing that now, to come down to it, tap it back a little, improve his rock and try to make it the winner.
Haven't been watching the game, so I don't know how the...
He is looking to tap it up, but that is not a lot of ice at all.
Yeah, well, it's not curling much. I mean, that's where he put her broom for the last rock. Yeah, right on the yellow guard.
Wonder what sheet I'm on next game.
I'm not sure myself. Well, we have the schedule in front of us.
I'm
Looks
on
like
A.
looks like I'm back on C.
I think we're on B.
Yeah, I'm on A.
Sure looks like you're on B, Craig.
So this 2 hours has been totally unproductive for me to learn anything from my game.
All right, rocks away.
That's a lot. Supers are off.
Now, unless you crash your red guard, you're probably not going to make things significantly
You
worse.
don't want to crash the red guard.
That's the one thing you can't do. He's by.
He didn't. Oh, that's pretty good.
So it was hot all the way, but it's going to stay in.
Did not actually made it a little deeper than it was before. So not a bad miss, but didn't get what he wanted out of it.
It also leaves a stone now.
It does leave some backing for a draw, yeah.
For Mike Greene to draw.
And Greene's just going to elect to draw twice. Probably. I mean, that's a miss, really. It made the situation slightly worse. So it's probably a 1. Maybe a.
So Ed and Craig are discussing the arcane scoring system in curling. Where either 4 or 5 points possible.
Yeah, depending on
or
the system
being
being used, sure.
And then you can get anywhere from 0 to 4 or 5, or maybe even 6 in some circumstances for what the actual outcome of the shot was, and that's how they come up with these wacky curly percentages.
Yeah, it's out of the potential points you could have gotten. It's not like a basketball game where everything's just a make or a miss. It's they rate all your half makes and whatnot. So we've got Michael Greene settling into the hack here for his first shot of the 8th, looking to draw around and sit one.
Puts on it very early. Craig thinks he's narrow. I don't think he's narrow.
I don't either. I think the line's fine.
I think the line is very good, but the weight is an issue. And it's
now that it's light, it'll be narrow because it's gonna come to the guard. But had the white been fine, it would have gotten by.
It barely hit the guard. The line was fine, but it was very light.
Yeah.
Well, Baroni's now sitting 2, and there's a lot of jams up. The rocks are pretty. The front's pretty crowded, so throw another one up there. And
so now it's an interesting option to just throw another rock somewhere tight on the guarding that draw on the. If I go back to the wider view on the left side of your screen, it doesn't make it very easy for Greene to get to the 8 foot if you throw a guard that's fairly wide here.
And that's what he's going to do.
Yeah.
Doesn't want to leave it hit and roll.
Well, you're not going to throw it in. You're looking at worst to be biting maybe, but you don't need to be biting because you're one ties 2 wins. This third rock will be less critical as far as it being a scoring rock.
Baroni's first stone?
No, Baroni's final rock.
Oh, Baroni's final rock.
This is Baroni's final rock off.
You want
Sweepers
to
are on
sweep
it.
that in. A little wick would be okay.
Yeah, wick would actually be pretty nice.
A little wick would be fine.
On the guard is fine.
Actually, leaving it there is fine. Keeping it wide is good. It doesn't need to be really tight.
And it takes away the red run back, the yellow run back too.
Yeah.
So this is the hammer.
But I don't think you're ever throwing that run back. He has a draw to the 8-foot. It's not an easy one anymore, but a tap is reasonable. If you were going to tap it back, you'd be tapping it, not running it. So
this is Mike Greene's hammer.
Yes, this is our final rock of the game. Well, potentially final rock of the game. Not easy to sit second shot here because it's a difference of maybe.
That's true. Yeah. The tie is unlikely at this point.
Yeah, let me take off the scoreboard so you have a better view. It's possible, but it's not easy to sit second here.
All right, so 2 hours of watching curling.
Yeah.
How many loyal visitors do we have at this point still?
All right, we've got 8 people still watching the finale of this game.
8 people watching. Mike Greene's stone is on its way.
Right, Greene's shot is away.
Looks narrow to me. He looks like he's going for the tap.
Yeah, he may be
now.
just playing the straight tap.
It looks like it's on the red to me. Is it going to get by to the yellow?
It's by. It's on the yellow.
It's by. And now it's coming.
Where
down.
is it?
And where is it?
Oh,
and it overcurls.
Yeah.
Wow, dramatic. In a dramatic finish, we have Team Baroni Clay, I suppose, taking a steal of 2 in the 8th after taking 3 in the 7th to come back and win the game 8-7. Great finish there.
Wow,
that
wasn't it. With 2 blowouts on ANC, that was a very exciting win.
Yeah.
And now it's time to get ready for my next game.
All right,
all of your next game. So
We're all on the ice.
good curling, everybody.
Good curling, everyone, and the broadcast should be back for the 4:30 games in about 15 minutes or so.